A rescuer from destinies, a prayer of St. G. There was in those days the feeling of the end of things. For were there not emperors, dictators, and kings, sorrow and war above all things? And now there was observed peace, with one envying another, so that there is no tranquility. Peace, peace, when there is no peace. We should not suppose that you came to bring peace. For when we heard the gospel, we did not lay aside our animosity, nor exercise friendship among ourselves. No, we were stayed into ourselves. For peace is a mutuality, not found in isolation. So that the Lord brought sword to cleave between our flesh and soul. Even from the Prince of Peace, no happy state endured. The gospel became the root of dissension, so that did our mother find salvation, father, children, brother, we are not certain, and only try to envision them in the halls of heaven. There are devils against the truth of life and death, and these whispered in the ear. And as though the conscience were their toy, we swayed right and left in their embrace. Then began the game of comparisons, one man juxtaposed to another, the minds examined and bodies declared, inquiries, biases, all to build a fortress of ourself against the wiles of the world. Flatterers, pretenders rose up, false prophets against all that is necessary. Necessary, which is said, do justly and love mercy and walk humbly with your God. Yet we turn ourselves away with perpetual turning, holding fast deceit, then turn our course again, like a horse rushing into battle. There must be a judgment to end all these days, else all pieces of our lives lie about, scattered east to west in conglomeration of humans, beasts, and seas, mountains, stars, and fishes, intermingled so that none remembers what humanity is. The world is not continuum or cycle. All the birds of passage in this earth keep the time of their coming and departure, but the people take no concern for your judgment. Did one come to see us, or did he not? And then why did he depart? The Lord is that Spirit which remained, for it was not of a man to live everlastingly and continually sweep up the pieces of our sighs. We may have wept for our lives, but it is the soul which shrinks back from life and knows not where to go. And how should we know the way? We picture halls of heaven, ancestors floating through them. Yet we have no language, vision, taste for the things of God. Adam and Satan thought to have been equipped to rule heaven and earth. But you are far from us, so far. True life is accomplished by the Spirit of God residing in us, pushing all else aside, regardless of the appearances. We have lived only just above the animals, weighing our brains to prove superiority. Supposing even that a monkey come to write a sonnet, we will go further into our own destiny. The destiny of all is God, whether to say, come up hither, or go from me. Some even were called to the throne, but their eyes were blinded, ears stopped. All thought is arrested before the actualities of truth. A man came down from God in our nature, whom we suppose to be a teacher or philosopher, for you made no move to be a king on earth, a rescuer from destinies. There is only one way to a place unknown. We will be carried there. All the signs are in place. A very man lived, died, and was raised from death. All this will occur in us, even that clouds and angels accompany our ascending to you, which patiently in history waited not in time, but in forbearance of sin and the attitudes of men. These never came to purity, but were possible as it was proved. But the mercy of God in your bounty of love appears larger than your justice. For all could have concluded in emptiness, everyone gone, all burned to nothingness. But the will of God decrees all, and irrespective of our efforts, made a paradise for men and drew us up to it, not simply to arrive, but to be with me, as was said from the cross. There we will eat of all the trees and walk again with you in paradise at the afternoon air. For the afternoon did come, as was decreed, and among us all was peace, and the Prince of it. Amen.